Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah. Look, like I always say, it was never going to be easy for us. Not going to get 2 points on the silver platter. It's a case of giving everything on the field, and I'll always give credit to the players for the fact that they always give their best. Even when chips are down, they try to rise to the occasion. And what was important for us was to make sure that we protect that position, fifth on the lock, and try to gain momentum as well, and have that belief that we can challenge for position 3 in future, in position 2. It's all up to us. I'm one person that believes in winning. Always been a winner as a player, and then the coach want to win. That's the reason I always push the players, even when sometimes I can see that they're finding it difficult. But I know they can always dig and all of a sudden gain their strength again and give their best for the club. And I must say they deserve to be given credit. They are fighting. They fought very well today. It was a very, very tactical game. And knowing how Coach Muhsin is tactically superior, he's very, very smart. He can play 3 or 4 systems in one game. And we had to be equal to the task. And as I said, I think more than anything else, I should thank the players. The fact that we also did not prepare well in terms of our microcycle because of due to weather, and we missed 1.5 days in terms of our preparations. And I knew that at some point the guys would drop in terms of energy levels, and it was more of a worrying factor. But the good thing that we did as well was the changes that we made to rest other players and bring in other players that will fuel the team in terms of to inject that energy into the squad. At that moment we needed them to keep the shape, discipline, tactically, so that we can be able to get maybe goal number 3 or even goal number 4, because we're still on grass, in terms of goal average. So I think everyone did very well in terms of defending and tactical discipline. We still have to polish our final third entries and decision making as well. First half, I think we had about quite a few breakthrough that we could have punished them, but we did not because of poor decision making. But again, if we can just fix that, then I think that must be a difficult team to play against. But yeah, credit to the players.
Thanks, Coach. Can open up with questions.
Congratulations, Coach. It's Muhsin from Independent Media. Coach, usually when coaches or teams decide to switch structures or systems or formations or whatever you guys call it, it usually comes with a lot of risks. But having seen you guys play in that 3, you guys have won, scored 5 goals and conceded none, which is something that you guys have been crying for, even Coach Kano when you were still here. The fact that the ability to keep clean sheets, you've kept 2 in a row now. How much confidence does it give you to say you guys probably made the right decision in being able to switch systems, and is it something that we're going to see more of moving forward because of its success?
Look, obviously it starts with the culture, let alone the way we want to play. You look at the strength of the players, which system that can suit us. We do players audit, we look at all the players in terms of their respective positions, their weaknesses and strength. And the players that we have in the team, they can be able to play 1-4-2-3-1, he can be able to play 1-4-3-3, 1-3-4-3. You know, we can easily maneuver. Obviously, it talks to the game approach, looking at the strengths and weaknesses of the oppositions, looking at the number of games that they played, looking at the number of players that also accumulated the number of games in terms of match minutes as to the oppositions. How can we push them to a level where they start dropping energy, because those are their key players. So those are the most important things that we look at as well in the modern game, to say the oppositions, how many players they played for the past 9 games, who were starting in the starting 11, and how did they do in terms of all those games where those players been pushed to the limit, when they've been challenged, and when now they are under pressure in some of those games, how did they finish the game? Did they panic? Did they drop the energy? So you look at all those things, and then you start planning around that. So you actually profile the entire squad of the opposition to look at how many games they played and all that. That's where the game is today. And they also do the same against us. So the minute you understand all those things, then that's when you base around your tactical approach. You can't just come and say, we're going to play 4-3-3 because the players they can be able to play for it. No, the game approach is informed by the information you get from the oppositions, and including that after this game we have another game on Wednesday, so we don't have time. The turnaround time is it's not enough for us. So now you start packaging the city and super sport. We immediately to say from there we should be ready for super sport. With this approach, you can easily now switch. So that's why in the modern game you need a player that can be able to play more than 2 positions. Can be able to play as a 6 center back, can be able to play as a wing back, left back, can be able to play as a winger number 10, can be able to play as a striker number 10, and number 6, number 8. So all those things. So that's why we profile players now, we profile players for the future, and profile players that should have suspensions, injuries in the squad. It doesn't affect the structure. Everyone knows his role and responsibility. This player is a number 6, he knows the role and responsibility of individual operating as a number 6 and also as a number 8. So that way, you can easily now kill 2 birds with 1 stone, or 3 birds with 1 stone with 1 player. So those are the most important things.
Coach Mangat, thank you for you. Looking at all the games that you've been playing, you've been involved in as a coach of AmaZulu, and can you say this one didn't give you much headache to plan about? Looking at the coach that you're playing against, you know him when you're playing days, and now you know at least tactics. Can we boldly say this one didn't give you more headache?
No, all the games are difficult. I treat all the games with the same respect. There are no easy games, like I said. The minute you have that kind of mentality as a coach, it rubs off to the players as well. Because whatever that you utter to the players, you're also giving the mentality or the message that the game is going to be easy. And unfortunately, there are no easy games. You must have seen yesterday, Magezi, the Hamad Super Sport. We played against Magezi here. And because we won 1-0, people thought maybe when Magezi when they play Super Sport, it's going to be a walk in the park. You understand what I'm saying? So it tells you that alone that they are easy games. It's how you prepare for the game. When you look at the oppositions, their structure, player for player, and you look at the strength of their players, how they play, how they approach the game, first minutes or first 15 minutes, the behavior, last 15 minutes, the behavior in all set plays and open play. Second half, the same. Then the approach might not be the same. Approach of the first half and the second half, and certain way you need to be able to tweak the structure quickly, because that's where you want them. When you know that when now their energy levels have dropped, then this is where we have to capitalize. So I don't take any game for granted, regardless of whether I might think I don't know any coach at this point in time, because the game has evolved. As much as the game has evolved, coaches as well, they change. But trust me, it was always going to be difficult for me to play against Cape Town City. because the headache I had was knowing how Coach Muhsin can change, a system into 4-3-3, 3-5-2. I know we used to cause problems when I was a player myself. Sometimes life was so difficult, and you must have seen them, second half when they changed the structure a little bit, and then they started seeing, finding those pockets. We recovered very well, because we were prepared for that. We were saying, let's stay compact. Let's make sure we close the half spaces. Let's make sure when they come into the half spaces, they mustn't come direct, but just force them out wide. Where we can be able to reinforce the defense when we are stretched. And that is why we had to bring in Ben and rest Bongani, because we also need Bongani for the next game, because he's our heartbeat. He's a thinker. We play with his rhythm. He's the one that controls everything at the moment. And the other guy, which is Brooks, your human rules, they play with energy. They're still young. You can't expect them to play like Bongani, to think like Bongani. Bongani is the one that controls, everything, or the rhythm in our game. So when Bongani is not there, we have Bullet, so we have that spine now to say. At the center back, Sandilo's got that, but you can see Sandilo is a bit rusty because he hasn't been playing for quite some time. But his quality, there is no doubt, is giving us, stability at the back and that discipline as well. So he's bound to make mistakes, and sometimes the good thing about it is how you recover after making that mistakes, because in the past, whenever we made mistakes, we got punished. So the most important thing right now is that when we make mistakes, because football is a game of mistakes, we need to quickly recover and make sure that we keep a clean sheet. It's important for us to keep that clean sheet going forward.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Coach, just take us through the difficulties of the final stretch of the season, the last 10 games. You will be playing against teams that are fighting relegations. Some are fighting for the league title. How difficult it is for the coach to prepare for the last 10 games of the season, and bear in mind that some players will be playing to fight for their contract, also in different teams, not only AmaZulu, but how difficult it is to keep the team motivated in those last games of the season.
It's difficult for everyone. I said, Magezi, out of the blue, they've played 3 games, they've actually played 4 games, they won 3. So they are no easy games, as much as we won 2-0 today, but it could have been a different ball game altogether in terms of the results had we not defended well, had we not take the few chances we created, because some games they become too tight and too tactical, because people they're always waiting for those moments, and other people from they see it as a scrappy game, but they don't understand actually the game of football today has become more like chess. It looks scrappy because it's chess. Few chances, and simply because team they're always waiting. You want to box smart, and when you want to box smart, also you play knowing very well that I have a game on Wednesday. So at some point your structure will look a little bit disjointed here and there, because you're also thinking about that. But what I'm happy about today is how the players responded, even those who came from the bench, and not only playing with the energy of going forward, but also when we lose the ball, so we're tactically disciplined when we defend it. And this is the discipline that you need to keep as a club. So all the teams right now, there's no small team. Did you expect Orlando Pirates to lose to Gallant? So when we played Gallant here at Moses Mabhida, when we beat them 2-0, the game looked, everyone said it was an easy game. Why? Because on the day we make the game look easy. But the energy of the players that they put in on the day after the game, all the energy levels are depleted. Because you only see life, it looks easy. It's easy for someone to say, AmaZulu today should have scored 5, 6, they dropped the tempo. No, we had to try and control the game at the right time. Yes, we want to score goals, but unfortunately, for the fact that we missed 1.5 day, when I say 1.5 day, that means we did not, we were supposed to at least train properly 3 days, and we couldn't. So as 1.5, we couldn't touch the field for 2 days. We needed obviously football actions in terms of preparations, but because the players, they listened, they responded positively in our structure. We still saw some good touches, but you also see some, missing, points in terms of, the timing, getting into those areas at the right time, connecting with the other players, pinpointing and all that. So in our game today, as much as we won the game, we still have a lot of mistakes, a lot of corrections, because we are work in progress. We still have a long way to go. This won't let this fool us. We still have a long way to go. Most important thing is to build a culture of winning and tactical understanding, discipline, and dedication. Everyone should be proud of wearing, the jersey of AmaZulu as a player. The people who came today to support us, they should be proud to say we're going to support our team. Yes, some games you're going to lose, but when you lose with pride and dignity, that's how it's supposed to be.
Coach, obviously the next one is away. Colleagues won't have a moment to speak to you. Just your thoughts on the difficulty of playing in Pretoria again. A team that obviously is just as going through things, but wants to also get an opportunity to play for 3 points against us. Tough game. Just your thoughts on preparing for that game, knowing the few, just one training session or two that you've also missed in the past and now away.
Yeah, I think I've also alluded to that earlier on about the packaging the games. We knew that we were going to have little time to prepare for the next game. West part, the pitch was so heavy today; it took a lot from the players. So now we're looking to make sure that there is freshness in the squad. Once we get that right, I think we have the right energy, to approach, the next game. It's going to be a difficult one because for the past few days, for the past few weeks, we're playing against teams that have just lost. And when you're playing against a team that just lost a game, they want to redeem themselves as well. So we're playing away to SuperSport, and they just lost to AmaZulu away. So now they are playing at home. So they fancy their chances as well. That there's no way we can allow AmaZulu to beat us, home and away. Now we are playing at home. We need to take the game to them, but we also fancy our chances because football is a game of results, and this is when we need to show character at this level. And these are the games that we have to go, full force and give our best, And we also fancy our chances, but it's not going to be easy because they've just lost to AmaZulu. So because they lost to AmaZulu, you won't say, they are there for the taking. No ways, we have to prepare, thoroughly again. We have to look at how they lost to AmaZulu, and probably you only see the penalty that led to the goal, but the overall performance SuperSport probably was better. You don't know, and the chances that they've created on the day, maybe they just couldn't take their chances. And now, if you don't look at it that way, you go there, with the mentality of, we just won a game, hey, you get, the shock of your life. So we don't want that. You have to be alert, you have to be disciplined, you have to tactically, and respect the game as well, and respect ourselves. And like I said, if when you gain the momentum, you have to show that you're good enough and you want to be amongst the big guys. And the good thing is for us to stay again and maintain the position that we're in. And then we start thinking about other things. We have to protect the position 5.
Okay. Coach Zwane.
So,